In a dramatic shake-up of the UK's benefit system, the Department for Work and Pensions has revealed a powerful new strategy that could shield thousands of struggling households from the crushing weight of debt. A quiet but relentless crackdown on incorrect universal credit payments has already stopped over £1 billion from being wrongly disbursed, marking what officials call a crucial step in protecting claimants from spiralling financial hardship. And now, as part of a growing effort under the new Labour government, this campaign is rapidly expanding, with millions more cases set to be scrutinised and billions more in taxpayer money expected to be saved. At the heart of this major effort lies the DWP's Targeted Case Review, a name that may not be familiar to many, but its impact is becoming impossible to ignore. Originally launched back in 2022 under the previous Conservative government, the initiative was designed to detect and correct errors in benefit claims, especially within the universal credit system. In its first year, it quietly reviewed 25,000 claims. But what started as a cautious pilot has now exploded into one of the most aggressive anti-fraud and anti-error operations the department has ever undertaken. Fast forward to July 2024. The DWP has now expanded the Targeted Case Review team to an astonishing 6,000 staff members. This sharp rise in manpower has allowed the department to examine more than 1 million existing benefit claims, picking through the details, cross-referencing data, and rooting out every possible discrepancy. And the result? A staggering £1 billion in incorrect payments have already been halted. That's not just £1 billion saved on paper, that's £1 billion that won't turn into debt for low-income families, and £1 billion that can instead be invested in public services that are crying out for funding. But the story doesn't end there. Now that the DWP has hit its staffing goals, it's preparing to dramatically ramp up the speed and scope of these reviews. Officials believe this army of nearly 6,000 trained reviewers will be able to prevent up to £13.6 billion in wrongful payouts by the end of this decade. That's an unprecedented figure in the history of UK benefits administration, and it paints a clear picture of a department on a mission. Speaking about the expansion, Minister for Transformation Andrew Weston was clear in his message. He said, "This target could not have been reached without this significant boost to staffing numbers. We now have forecasted savings of £13.6 billion by 2030. But it's not just about saving money." Weston added that this program is equally about fairness, making sure that overpayments are corrected but also ensuring that people who are being underpaid finally receive the money they are truly entitled to. It's a dual mission, to crack down on error and fraud, yes, but also to deliver justice to those who've been shortchanged for too long. The importance of this approach becomes especially clear when you consider the cost of incorrect benefit payments. When the system overpays, many recipients unknowingly end up in debt. And once that debt is flagged, it's not just a matter of fixing a number on a screen, it becomes a burden that haunts people's lives, often resulting in benefit deductions, appeals, confusion, and even anxiety or depression. With millions of households already teetering on the edge, any effort to prevent these debts before they begin could be life-changing. The role of the Targeted Case Review team is not just about spotting errors. These specialists dive into payment histories, analyze unreported changes in claimant circumstances, and correct claims retrospectively. In more serious cases, they refer suspected fraud to be investigated. It's a complex operation, but one the DWP insists is already proving its worth. For benefit recipients, the process starts with a notification in their Universal Credit online account. They are asked to provide documentation, verify their identity, and confirm the details of their claim. It can feel invasive, but the goal is simple: ensure that the right people get the right amount, at the right time, and stop errors before they snowball into unmanageable problems. The initiative has gained momentum under the Labour government, which has made welfare reform a key part of its economic policy. And in the autumn budget, a bold decision was made to extend the Targeted Case Review programme by another 2 years. That means the scrutiny will continue and likely intensify well into the next Parliament. The findings from this process won't just be used to fix individual errors. They'll help redesign the entire benefits system, building safeguards to stop fraud and error from even entering in the first place. But while some may applaud the crackdown on waste, not everyone is celebrating. Critics worry that the scale and intensity of these reviews could end up punishing genuine claimants, especially those who already struggle to navigate the complex benefits landscape. And with so many cases being examined, some fear innocent mistakes could be misinterpreted as fraud. Campaigners have warned that the pressure to meet savings targets must not come at the cost of compassion, especially when lives are already under financial strain. Still, the government insists it's taking a balanced approach. A spokesperson for the DWP said this initiative is not just about policing the system, it's about building trust. The goal is to provide a fair, high-quality service that ensures customers receive their full entitlement and avoid unnecessary debt, they said. And the department is also doubling down on efforts to support people into work, aiming to make individuals less reliant on benefits over the long term. It's all part of what the government calls its plan for change, a sweeping strategy designed to increase productivity and reduce dependency across the UK economy. At the same time, the Public Authorities, Fraud, Error and Recovery Bill is being introduced to Parliament. This legislation, officials say, will give the DWP and other departments stronger legal tools to prevent, detect, and recover fraudulently claimed benefits. If passed, it could mark a new era in welfare enforcement, one where technology, data, and real-time verification become the backbone of a reformed, resilient benefits system. So what does this mean for the average claimant? First and foremost, it means that benefit reviews are no longer an occasional inconvenience. They are fast becoming a regular and permanent part of the DWP's operations. Anyone on universal credit, especially long-term claimants or those with complex circumstances, could be subject to a review at any time. Being prepared, keeping your documents updated, reporting changes in your situation, and understanding your entitlements has never been more important. Second, it's a warning to those who may be abusing the system. The days of slipping through the cracks are rapidly ending. With nearly 6,000 trained specialists now on the case, the chance of wrongful claims going unnoticed is shrinking by the day. And for those deliberately committing fraud, the consequences could be severe. But third, and perhaps most importantly, it's a promise to those who've felt let down by the system. Those who've received too little for too long. Those whose appeals have gone unheard. Those who have struggled with poverty despite being entitled to more. For them, the expansion of the targeted case review isn't a threat. It's a lifeline. A chance to finally be seen, heard, and supported in the way the welfare state was always intended to provide. The DWP insists that this is just the beginning. With the benefit system under review, more changes are coming, some welcomed, others controversial. But one thing is certain, the era of unchecked benefit errors is ending. And in its place, a new chapter is being written, one of accountability, of fairness, and of a renewed promise to protect the most vulnerable while preserving the integrity of public spending. For millions across the country, especially those navigating the difficulties of life on universal credit, these developments could mark a turning point. Not just in policy but in peace of mind. Because in a world where every penny counts, getting what you are truly entitled